Hey, this is Jill Ciminillo with Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk, and this week both publisher Tim Esterdahl and I are driving the Ford Maverick Tremor. And this is an all-new off-road package for this model year, and yeah, we're going to check it out. I'm going to drive it in Chicago and Indianapolis, and he is going to drive it in the hinterlands of Nebraska. And I'm going to talk about what I like and don't like about this vehicle, and he's actually going to get the fun part of the video because he's going to take it off-road. So let's take a closer look right now.
All right, hey, thanks, Jill. Here I am in Western Nebraska, and I have the, like you said, the Lariat version of this Maverick, and we can see it right here. I'm going to go ahead and talk about the exterior, and then I'll do a little off-roading because that's always fun. I'm going to take my family down to Loveland tomorrow, and we'll see how the family fits in it. Yeah, should be an interesting day. So let's talk about this. So we know it's a Maverick. We can tell by the body lines, much smaller truck than we've seen in the past, a little trucklet or little pickup, what do you want to call it. But we know it's a Tremor too because we have all these orange accents, tow hooks, orange accent on the wheel, and then Lariat there as well. This color is Avalanche, and then we have carbonized gray accents. We have that on the roof, we have that on the mirrors, and the door handles here are carbonized gray. We also have some really nice body graphics here, which have a little different texture to them, kind of mimic an off-road look to them as well. This is a little bit different front end bumper because it gets a little more ground clearance. This has an inch more ground clearance than a normal Maverick does because it has that Tremor package. We have more aggressive off-road tires as well with the Maverick Tremor package. As we come around the sides, we can see the rear end. Now this has the 2-liter EcoBoost engine because you can only get the Maverick Tremor in the 2-liter EcoBoost engine because you need the all-wheel drive. In this case, we need the advanced four-wheel drive. Allows us to lock in four-wheel drive. We also have revised front shocks and rear shocks as well to allow us a little bit better off-road capability and that more ground clearance. We can see this bumper wraps up at the end there to allow, again, more ground clearance. That sounds like a broken record. Tremor spelled out here as well. And then we have the Maverick kind of embossed in the tailgate. Tremor there too. So that's what the exterior looks like of this Maverick Tremor. A few notes for me is would be nice to have a dampener. That'd be kind of cool. We do have the drop-in bed liner as well. Well, this says drop-in, but well, heck, that looks like spraying to me. But my notes could be wrong. We do have some nice tie-downs as well, and to have some. This is a do-it-yourself flex bed. You can go online, find instructions to wiring in there, hook up your own, make your own modifications back here, wire it how you like. Yeah, I mean, it's light. You just hold it. Not the end of the world, but a few dollars would have helped. So, as the exterior, I do have the keyless entry or the intelligent access, whatever you want to call it. If the key fob is in my pocket, I can grab the handle. It'll unlock the doors for me. Also have the well-known Ford 4-digit code, or I think it's 4-digit code here. Put in your code, unlocks the doors for you as well. And then the biggest difference for the XLT that she's got versus this Lariat is I have leather and I have power seats. I also have adaptive cruise control as well, as an option. This one, I don't think it has it. This one just regular cruise control. And you option that up for adaptive cruise control as well. The bigger screen there. I do have the Tremor trail control off-road button. I have the auto locking four-wheel drive and the locking rear differential. This holds the gear. This locks differential. So we have that as well. And then we have these leather seats, which we'll talk a little bit more about those in a little bit.
Since we are already outside the vehicle, I'm going to start with the first thing that I really love about this vehicle. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time out here because Tim is going to go into deeper detail on the Tremor package and what it entails. But I really like the orange graphics. So you've got the orange tow hooks, you've got the orange rim around the daytime running lights and the grille. And then I love the hood graphics. It kind of looks like tire treads or something. But that is going to be the first thing that I really like about this vehicle. And since it's cold outside, yeah, we're gonna hop inside and I'm gonna talk about the rest there as I point out the orange accent also on the wheel. I love all of that. I totally geek out over the details. So popping inside, before you turn on the vehicle, you see that you don't have a full digital cluster, but you do have this digital display in the center there that has a graphic animation. And all right, we're just going to mix up the likes and the dislikes on this vehicle because, yeah, I got to start the car and, I have an actual key. I find that just a little bit weird in this day and age, and yeah. But you start it up and you have the nice graphic that continues. You know, it doesn't pulse over into the info screen, but I don't know. I like digital graphic startups. All right, so let's look at the rest of the interior and continue with what I like on this vehicle. So I really love these seats. They are cloth seats, but they're super comfortable. I drove 3 hours in them and had plenty of support. And a lot of people want leather. They want leatherette surfaces, but I don't need them. I actually like the cloth better because they're rugged and they're not too cold in the winter and they're not too hot in the summer, so they're kind of in that just right category. So that definitely falls on my like list. Okay, I don't really like the cup holders in the door here. Now I know that Ford has designed it so that you have a space here so that you can fit taller water bottles in this, but they don't have it situated to fit wider water bottles. So I've been playing around with water bottles, and I have this one right here, which is more on the small side of things, and trying to fit it in this space isn't working. So it'll fit in terms of the bottom part, but then the top part, I'm going to break something if I try and snap it in there. So that doesn't work. You know, I have a Yeti water bottle, and that's way too wide. That won't even fit in, well, I guess it kind of fits in the bottom, but it's just, again, you're getting this little bit right here is too narrow. So if you overhydrate like I tend to, you have no place to put your water bottles. So at one point I had 4 water bottles in here, and I put the 4 water bottles here, and then we'd stopped and we got smoothies, and then I had my smoothies in here, and nothing was in there. I did find that if you have one of those little 16-ounce plastic water bottles, that fits. Nothing else does. Also, because this is an XLT trim, you're going to have just some lower end features. You don't have navigation on this. You do have Apple CarPlay. It is not wireless. You do have to wire in if you're going to use it. And you don't have heated seats, cooled seats, or any of the up-level amenities that you get on the Lariat trim. I believe Tim has the Lariat trim in Nebraska, so he can get into all of that loveliness. But I don't like the fact that I really wanted heated seats. I really want cloth heated seats. I think cloth heated seats are amazing, and I wish this had it, but it doesn't. Also, as I said, this is a key, and when I was going through and I was looking at the package items, I didn't exactly see where a push button start and passive entry was available on this vehicle. I'm sure it is. I didn't see it in the luxury package, but yeah, I'll have to dig into that a little bit more. Maybe Tim can comment on that. I know you do get passive entry, so and push a button start on the Lariat trim, but standard, wow. Okay, that'll be a like. I don't know if you just heard the fan kick on. the heat works really well and it kicks on quickly. But I digress. So standard on the XLT trim is going to be the key, and you have to use the fob to lock and unlock the buttons. But yeah, that's really loud. But I love the fact that the heat kicks on within a couple of minutes. Drove 5 minutes to class from my parents' house to a spin class, and within 5 minutes, the cabin was already warming up. So like that as well. In terms of things that I don't like, really there's not a lot. I think that the Tremor package does a really good job with some of the interior accents, you know, the stitching. I like the rugged look to the seats. I like the orange reversed stitching here. You know, you do have the floor mats in here, which is great for snow, but also for mud, because, by the way, Tremor package meant to go off-road. So you're going to keep your car a little bit cleaner than you would otherwise. Okay, we need to talk about this just a little bit. I hate the auto stop start feature, and it's not terribly smooth in the in the Maverick. It does a little bit of a and I just, yeah, not a fan of that. So I really wish that was a little bit better done, better executed. And obviously if you get the hybrid engine, you would have a better execution, but by the way, the hybrid engine is not available with the Tremor package as far as I could find. So what does that mean for fuel economy? Driving, as you can see, about 261.4 miles so far. Drove around Chicago, drove all the way down to Indianapolis, and I have been idling just a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit, and I'm getting just below 20 miles per gallon at this point. Keeping in mind speed limits from Chicago to Indianapolis are about 70 miles per hour. So I'm not going 55 here. So a little bit worse fuel economy than what I thought I would get, but I will say I've been blasting the heat, and you know, I'm an aggressive driver. We'll just leave it there.
Okay, let's check out these lights. There's your daytime running lights going. Nice ambient orange lighting there too. Marker light. You can see the ambient lighting inside the cab. You see that cab's already pretty much lit up. We'll talk more about that on the back. And you have bed lights. The whole bed's lit up. Oh, it was until it went up. So, all right, hop in. Here's your lighting there in the doors. Get inside. Start. Oh, what's over here? There. Yeah, the ambient lighting's nice. Now the cab's quite calming down. Here's your screen, your dash screen. So your fuel economy there. And I will. Well, I'm going to press these drive modes here. I want to show you what the drive modes do. So you can see normal, tow haul, slippery, mud ruts, sand, normal. So all these do is they change the transmission shift points. They change how the vehicle reacts to those conditions to handle the different driving conditions. That's what they do. The auto four-wheel drive locks in four-wheel drive. The rear lock locks rear locker, and then this has got the Tremor off-road mode, which is basically off-road cruise control in this truck when pedal driving. So there's your lights, there's your brights, there's the Tundra. There's your lights, there's your brights, there's the Tundra. So yeah, pretty bright out there. Let me go check those outside lights one more time. Get out, see how bright it is in this cabin? Wow. And the wheel wells are lit up. I mean, that's nice. Really bright out there. Come around over here. And there's your lights there. So that's what it looks like at night. Oh, look, the door panel's lit up too with the Ford Maverick Tremor. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about price. And since the handy dandy sheet does not say what the price is because it says vehicle not for sale, let's go ahead and go to the website and check out the pricing, because this actually is more useful to me going to the website. So looking at Jill's XLT versus this Lariat, difference is about $3,000. And the difference between the vehicles, I have it right here, I took pictures of it, was that the Lariat has the LED signature lighting, the 6.5-inch productivity screen, so bigger screen. It has the push button start, plus it's got the access for like your hand. If you have the key fob in your pocket, grab the handle, opens up. It's got that plus push button. Remember, hers got a key. I have power seats. I have dual climate control, acoustic windshield, so that trying to reduce the sound in this cabin by 2 or 3 decibels, which is really big for most manufacturers at this point, because there's not much more they can do with these, and they tell me that's a big deal. Ambient lighting as well, so better lighting in here too. So on the XLT, you have the rear cubby storage, which is kind of a weird thing to talk about. 8 tie downs, again, weird thing. Cruise control, navy pier interior with orange highlights, and the 17-inch painted aluminum wheels. So basically, when you go Lariat, you get leather, the dual climate control, you get the push button start, the basic keyless entry where you just grab the handle, open it up, and the bigger screen. Yeah, and you have better lighting. So I tend to think Lariat's the big winner here. Although I will say these seats are pretty comfortable with the leather. I'm really surprised. I do like the cloth seats though quite a bit in the Maverick, and so I wouldn't begrudge you if you went with those as well. But looking at this, so this Maverick you can only get in the 2-liter EcoBoost engine because you have to get all-wheel drive, and currently the all-wheel drive is only available in the 2-liter, not in the hybrid. They're working on that though, they tell me. So looking at this all-wheel drive, they have an advanced 4-wheel drive system, which adds $2,200, but it doesn't tell me actually what it is. And that's with the Tremor package. The Tremor package by itself is going to be $2,995, so basically $3,000 for a Tremor off-road package. That's going to give you the off-road tune suspension, with the 1-inch lift, the different rear springs, rear shocks, the trail control button. We'll talk more about that. Front skid plates, the electronic rear differential locking, the advanced 4-wheel drive with twin clutch rear drive unit. So that comes with a Tremor. A 4-wheel drive lock, so we can actually lock in 4-low, which is nice. Rear drive unit, I'm assuming it's 4-low I can lock in. Yeah, I can lock it in. Let's see, we have 17-inch machine wheels, exterior Tremor highlights. Talked about the front bumper, new approach angle with that, unique grille, the front tow hooks, the orange that you've seen. And then there is such a thing as a Tremor off-road appearance package, which is a couple $1,000s more, so $4,490, and that includes all the Tremor off-road package, plus the black body graphic, the hood and lower body cladding, the carbonized gray roof, the carbonized gray door handles, Lariat only, and carbonized gray mirrors, Lariat only. So that's just an appearance package, but basically for $3,000, you get the Tremor with the locking 4-wheel drive, with the locking rear differential, with the better ride height, with the new bumper to give you better, well, overall ground clearance. And this package I am looking at right now is optional equipment. Comes with Ford Copilot 360, which is your adaptive cruise control. That's $360. What else I got in here for packages? I have the splash guards are $180. I saw those on this list as well. I have a spray and bed liner, which you're calling spray and bed liner is $495. And I have the 4G Wi-Fi hotspot removal. I don't even get that. It's removal. So, looking at this, when I build and price it, my summary with the Tremor package, Tremor package, it's going to be $36,000 for this. The way I price all out with all the options, about that range, which is quite a bit of change for a truck that started at $20,000 to get the $36,000 with the Tremor package. That's a lot. Okay, here we are with the family in the Ford Maverick heading towards Loveland to do some shopping today. And so far the kiddo and the other kiddo and the wifey, they like bigger vehicles. They want more room. They want more leg room. It doesn't quite fit their needs. It's not bad. I mean, we're all under 6 foot, and my wife and I fit pretty decent. But when we move our seats around a little bit, it definitely cuts down leg room in the back. So keep in mind, this is really, I would say, an occasional 4-person little trucklet. But really, it's better for like if just 2 of us or a single person, it'd be a lot better. I'm hearing quite a bit of wind noise though on this pillar over here, which is a little annoying because this does have that acoustic glass. This is supposed to be a little quieter, but I don't know if the XLT like Jill had is louder than this. I had to crank the music up, which I'd love to crank up, but we don't have AM and FM in this. We don't have XM in my phone. I've kind of exhausted my music. So yeah, it's okay. but it's a little loud on the highway doing 80 miles an hour. I'm getting 22.5 mile per gallon average, a little bit less than what they said I should get, but it's wintertime in Wyoming. It's always to be expected. Any other thoughts, comments, concerns? You look thrilled back there, too small back there, and just a smile from me.
About the same as what
we
had with the last Maverick.
Yep. So, all right, let's head back to the rest of the video.
Now, before I turn this over to Tim to talk about the off-roadness that the Tremor package brings to the Maverick, I want to talk just a little bit about the driving dynamics that are involved with this vehicle, because it does have some tweaks, a lift, some things that make this more off-road capable, but no less on-road capable. I think this is one of the more perfect city vehicles. It's very easy to parallel park. It's very easy to drive. I've got great visibility out of all of the windows, and it's just really good in tight urban situations. Then, for the drive from Chicago to Indianapolis, this was still a really comfortable vehicle. I mean, sure, the seats play a big part of that. Very comfortable seats. Can I repeat that? Love it. But it didn't feel like it was bouncing at all, and it felt very stable on the highway. Now, it was really windy driving through the cornfield area of central Indiana, but it didn't feel like the car was moving around very much, and it felt planted and solid. And sometimes when you make some tweaks to lift, suspension, that kind of stuff, I don't know, the driving dynamics of the vehicle can be a little bit off, and I didn't find that at all with the Tremor package of the Maverick. So I'm going to just summarize my thoughts on this package. I think it looks good, and I think it drives great. I wish the fuel economy was a little bit better, but there's a lot to like here. And for my money, I would probably opt for the Lariat trim that Tim is going to show you, because yeah, I'd want the push button start. I still keep trying to, I forget, I get in the car and I'm like, where's my key? And I'm trying to hit the button and there's no button. So, and by the way, the car that I own also has a key. I just don't apparently drive it enough to get used to the fact that you got to get that little silver thing out to turn into the ignition. So now with that, I'm going to turn it over to Tim, and he's going to take you off road and tell you how this does in Nebraska.
Okay, now off-road with a Maverick Tremor, let's talk about this. Let's be honest with ourselves. This is not a body-on-frame, four-wheel drive truck that's going to climb over boulders and go through the creek beds and get out to my deer that I shot or whatever's going to happen. This is going to be a very mild off-roader in that it's going to do pretty well on these dirt roads. It's going to do pretty well on conditions that through like a field. So if I was going through a field and it was a flat field out with a corn stalks, I could get through that pretty easily on this vehicle. That's really what this does, in my view. It replaces the side-by-side for the rancher. It replaces that need for that small compact truck that can do just a little bit more. We had a blizzard come through this area, and so there's a lot of snow, and now today that snow is melting, becoming muddy, and that's what this can do. It can get through this little bit of snow, a little bit of mud. It can get through the situation probably even more aggressively than what I'm going through at the moment. But again, I'm not going to go climb the bluff. It's not going to happen. But that's okay, because now I have a little bit better ground clearance. I do have that little bit better off-road capability. I did want to lock in that four-wheel drive. I want to see what it shows me. So it just says four-wheel drive's locked, so I have power going to all four wheels, which is interesting because it is already an all-wheel drive. Locking differential, and if I press the Tremor, I can just get the different off-road drive modes. So yeah, I'll show you all that stuff on the screen. Nothing really there that makes me want to write home about this thing. Again, I really like the look of it. I like the little bit more capability, and I think it just really works well for that customer who needs something that isn't $60,000, that's not a Jeep, that's not a side-by-side, that they can run to town with it, and they can have a good time with it, and they have air conditioning and cruise control and heat, and then they can, head back to the ranch, work around the ranch, or work around their house, or work around the beach or something with this. I can see that working out well, like in Southern California. And yeah, that's the vehicle for them. I can see this working out well. Okay, there's our thoughts on the 2023 Ford Maverick Tremor in both the XLT and Lariat. Again, only about $3,000 difference, then depending what options you get, packages, stuff like that. But yes, I can hear you in the comments below already. $36,000 for a little trucklet that has 1,100 pounds of payload, basically, and not much towing capability, and just a bunch of orange accents. That's one way to look at it. Another way would be, it's really kind of cool looking truck, and it's useful in the right size, fits in the garage well, fits the right people, and has pretty decent fuel economy. And you're driving around, not in our cases because we drove through some pretty nasty conditions, but that's another way to look at it. And frankly, I like the other way to look at it, the latter way, the way that it's right size for the right customer, for that customer's needs. So for more, check the videos over here, website down below. As always, thanks for watching. I and Jill will see you down the road.